All right, so here's another large story, in my opinion, that not a lot of people are covering, but you should be paying attention to this one. Because while everybody's fighting over the Netflix Warner Bros. Situation, an article dropped that has proved my point about why you should not trust Sony. You know, Xbox has not been doing the greatest. A lot of their exclusives are going over to the other side. And now there's even talks that they might not, release another console. Although the CEO has come out, the president has come out and said they are in fact making another console. And I said, even if you hate Xbox, you don't want to see them fail, because that means there's less competition on the market. And then we have a Warner Bros. Netflix situation, right? And another reason you don't want, and this is why we should also be rooting for the Steam machine, because it means more competition. It means they're going to have to compete with each other even harder to give us a better deal and a better product, right? So the Steam machine is great. You should not be rooting for the Xbox's failure. If Valve and Steam fell apart and only from the mature side of consoles, basically, only Sony is left, that is the last company you need to be worried about, right? Because first, we got an article last week where they were talking about potentially removing PlayStation games off of PC, right after. I find it very coincidental that Sony CEO said, we're thinking about removing our exclusives off of Steam after the Steam machine got announced. Anybody else find that funny? It's just not making up some bullshit. Oh, it's not selling well. Listen, and don't fall for this shit. They said they wanted to they're thinking about removing Sony exclusives off of Steam because they weren't selling that well. If that's the case, why did last year you said we're going to double down and bring more of our exclusives even faster to Steam because they're selling well? Which one is it? Do you guys remember that? That's the reason why they've been putting so many exclusives on PC, because they were doing well. Now, all of a sudden, they're not doing well when the Steam machine got announced. Don't fall for the propaganda, guys. Don't fall for the propaganda. Now we have another story. The Supreme Court will decide if Sony can turn off your internet if you pirate their content in a $1 billion lawsuit. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Sony, PlayStation Nation, Sony ponies. I know you don't want to hear this, but they are trying to cut off your internet. They do not give a friendly reminder before we get into this. The only thing you need to be worried about as a consumer is finding the best product and the best deal for said product for yourself. Make them compete for your dollar, because if you don't, they're going to do goofy shit. And this is an article from 4 days ago. I feel like not a lot of people was talking about. Today on December 4th, the Supreme Court will hear oral arguments in a closely watched copyright dispute that pits the music industry against one of the nation's largest internet providers in a case that could reshape online liability for decades to come. At the heart of the litigation is whether Cox Communications, I'm sorry, I'm mature, the country's biggest privately held broadband company, can be held financially responsible for illegal copying and distribution of thousands of copyrighted songs by its customers. Major record labels and music publishers, including Sony Music Entertainment and more than 50 other companies, accuse Cox of willfully turning a blind eye to rampant piracy on its network, behavior they say has cost the industry billions of dollars annually. You just can't stop it. I feel like we've been having this conversation since I was a kid, when Napster first came out with the song sharing, the peer-to-peer song sharing. You can't stop this. People who want to steal are going to fucking steal. If it's not on American servers, they're going to put it on Russian servers. They're going to put it on Swedish servers. They're going to put it on Indian servers. I remember a couple streams ago, I was talking about Stream East, and then I uploaded it to YouTube, and niggas was like, Stream East don't even exist anymore. No, nigga. You don't know how to use the internet. And a federal jury in Virginia agreed with the labels in 2019, according to a staggering $1 billion verdict after fine, which is also interesting too. You got a generation of kids who grew up with the internet. You niggas don't know how to use computers. It's very fascinating to me, allegedly. Finding that Cox failed to reasonably address repeat infringement and refused to terminate accounts of chronic offenders. The Richmond-based Fourth Circuit Court of Appeals later vacated that award and ordered a new trial of damages, but upheld the core finding that Cox could be liable for materially contributing to customers' copyright violations. The Supreme Court declined to review the label's challenge to the appeals court damages ruling, but agreed to examine Cox's broader argument. that internet service providers cannot be held secondarily liable for piracy unless they actively participate or encourage the illegal activity. Mere knowledge of infringement or failure to stop it, Cox contends, is not enough. Basically, what these record labels and these movie companies are saying is they're using your internet to download our shit for free. So you are the problem, and they're saying they can't monitor every little fucking thing. It's just not fair to hold them liable to what one or two people are doing. Because let's be fair, most people really aren't stealing shit. What's the name? You said, yeah, oh no, I'm missing a few billion. The company warns that the Fourth Circuit standard would transform broadband providers into de facto enforcers required to disconnect entire households, businesses, hospitals, military bases, and hotels whenever an automated infringement notice arrives. So if you right now are in the military and you are eating nothing but fucking miso soup every day because you got a Hellcat on a 900% ARP loan, if you download Zootopia 2 for free, allegedly, all of whatever military base you on, they're gonna shut down the entire internet, nigga. Now and guess what? You're gonna get smoked. Your NCO is gonna make you drop and give 100,000, nigga. Often based only on an IP address and unverified allegations from third-party monitoring. Such a rule, Cox argues, threatens universal internet access and invites abuse of the notice system by overzealous copyright holders that could force them to cut off the internet services to customers based solely on complaints by companies like Sony. So this is where Sony comes into play. They're specifically naming them in this article because they're saying Sony is a super stickler about you taking shit away for free. And taking shit for free. And don't get me wrong, I'm not gonna sit here and justify people stealing shit. It's none of my fucking business what you do at your time either. But that being said, what I find really funny about piracy and Sony, I can't speak on the movies, but at least on the gaming side of things, pirating like video games is hard on console. You can't even pirate video games until like on the PS3 you can because it doesn't get firmware updates anymore. And that's gonna happen with the PS4 in probably the next 5 to 10 years. Once a platform stops getting firmware updates, that's when hackers are able to eventually crack the code and start installing homebrew. That's what's going on right now with the PS Vita. The PS Vita is one of the best emulation machines. Who gives a fuck, bro? Niggas is emulating on the PS3 and the PS Vita. You wasn't supporting that shit in the first place. Yeah, they fucking lazy. It just seems like it's nickel and diming, bro. My thing is, if you really want people to pay for what you are making, make a great product and make it affordable. Because what I will stand on is I think I'm comfortable saying the average person, you cannot stop piracy 100%, but the average person does want to support the arts. The problem is y'all make it impossible to support you guys. And prime example is what we were talking about with Netflix and that deal earlier. They've lived long enough to become the villain. When Netflix was $8 a month and you got fucking everything, yo, let me tell y'all something. I feel bad for you niggas that didn't get to live through the fact that Netflix was $8 a month and Chipotle burritos was $5. Yeah, that was a time to be alive, nigga. That was a time to be alive. It was a Chipotle down the street from my high school. My senior year, that's when Chipotle had just came out. It was like $5.90, something like that. Lunchtime, we used to hop in a whip, get the $5 burrito. Y'all didn't live through that shit, bruh. Now they charging $16 for that same burrito with half the meat in it. I want more meat in my mouth. That's not the point though. Make it affordable and people will stop stealing shit. You're not gonna 100% stop it. There's always gonna be, I feel like piracy is a lot like cheating. Me personally, I always operate on leaving the door open. A person who's gonna cheat, it's because they want to. You can't stop it. The key is don't lose yourself in the situation. Just let it go. Just let it go. Piracy is the same thing. If somebody wants to steal, they're gonna fucking steal. But I do think the average person does want to support the arts if you make it affordable. You guys are giving us less and charging us more. Streaming services have become the digital version of Chipotle. You're giving us half the chicken scoop. Now you're charging us $16 for a burrito, which I swear to God, because when I was younger, I swear to God, Chipotle burritos used to hit. I don't know if it's because I'm older, but I feel like they used to season the chicken and the steak way better. Now it tastes really bland. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I'm older. I don't know. That position has attracted an unusually broad coalition of supporters. The Department of Justice, tech giants including Google and Twitter, public interest groups, and the American Civil Liberties Union have all filed briefs backing Cox. Civil liberties advocate emphasizing the risk of collateral harm when an entire family, medical facility, or dormitory loses connectivity because one person allegedly had bad conduct, sometimes committed by a guest or even a neighbor stealing the Wi-Fi. Exactly. Can y'all, this is a case you got to pay attention to. Can we really put this in perspective, what they're talking about? I'd argue this point in time, 2025 and beyond, you need internet to survive. You need internet to do research, to apply for jobs. It's a thing that should just be readily available. It's a part of society. Sony and other companies are talking about, yo, we need to get rid of this survival tool now in modern society. If this nigga blow up the whole military base, shut down the entire neighborhood, if they downloaded Zootopia 2, why don't you just go after the one person who's doing it? Like, what the fuck are we? Shut it all down till we figure it out. It's like, you remember WandaVision? You remember WandaVision when they cut off the whole town because Wanda had the whole town under mind control and shit? What was it, the Sword Agency? Sony is the Sword Agency. Cut off the whole town. Shut off the lights. Shut off the internet till we figure out who downloaded Toy Story 3. Shut the fuck up. It's not that deep, bruh. Yeah, internet is a utility. That's what I'm trying to articulate. At this point, utility is a utility. And Sony is leading the fucking way, man. The music industry and its allies dismissed those concerns as exaggerated fear-mongering. Court filings revealed that the peer-to-peer file sharing traffic once accounted for more than 1/5 of all upstream data on Cox network. An internal company email showed employees openly mocking obligations under the Digital Millennium Copyright Act. Shout out to the employees. They basically saying they see y'all downloading shit. They don't give a fuck. I'm gonna be honest. I don't blame them. Shout out to the employees. You don't get paid enough to be hounding people all goddamn day. Like, shut the fuck up. Rather than implement graduated warnings, temporary suspensions, or other intermediate measures used by many peers, Cox allegedly adopted a policy of ignoring most infringement complaints to avoid losing subscribers. Trade groups for recording artists, songwriters, and film studios argue that Cox had numerous less drastic tools available, yet deliberately chose profits over compliance. They framed the case as a last resort effort to compel meaningful cooperation from providers after years of failed voluntary. So basically, they're just mad they're not making as much money, and Cox is making money. Either way, somebody's gonna make money. I don't care. Here's another reason you can't stop this shit either. I seen some of y'all in the chat say it. If push comes to shove and they do win this case, Sony and whoever else is trying to file this lawsuit, people are just gonna use a VPN. Because this is all they just stated in this article. The only way they can track you is an IP address. So if people who know how to actually use a computer, they're going to go buy a $5 a month VPN. And they say, whenever I want to download stuff, I'm going to click this button. And now I'm in China. Oh, I'm in China. I think today I'll be in Cleveland. No, don't go to Cleveland. That might get you caught. They'll be like, wait a minute. There's no internet in Cleveland. How the fuck are they downloading Toy Story 3? You can't stop it. You can't fucking stop it. And I just wanted to showcase this article to remind everybody that Sony is not your friend either. So before you start cocksucking them, the PlayStation 6 is going to be the best thing ever. Bro, just get whatever product you're interested in and go on about your day. These niggas is not paying your bills. They trying to actively take money out your pocket, and they trying to take utilities away. That's why they trying to ban VPNs. Yep. Well, not just for downloading stuff. I also think they're trying to ban VPNs for VPNs are also used to organize grassroots rebellions, Star Wars type shit. That's why mesh networks are important. Download a mesh app. You don't need any internet to talk to text people. Keep an eye on this, man. We're gonna keep an eye on this. This is one reason why we needed net neutrality type shit. Unless VPN companies decide to sell out their data. Yeah, that's why you shouldn't fuck with NordVPN, bro. They've been hacked a million different times. Yeah, make sure you do your research on which ones you're using. The UK banned VPNs too. They did? I didn't even know that. Have you seen the new Avatar gameplay? It's interesting how everyone hates Token and loves the Avatar gameplay. Who's everyone hates Token? All my friends that are playing it like it. I did see that Avatar is getting a lot of praise because Max was praising it. I'm curious to know how many people are actually enjoying it, or they're just riding off of Max's opinion. I'm still not sold on that game, man. If y'all say Marvel Token's not it, it is. I'll believe you, but I'm still not sold on that Avatar game. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm curious to see, will it be able to have legs long? Because my thing is, I never said that there's not any fun to be had in Avatar. I'm just not convinced that it's gonna have legs long term. That's what I'm talking about. It has good mechanics, lots of combo routes. Okay. Are they doing a beta or something? That's one of those games I want to get my hands on. Maybe I'm wrong. I still don't like the art style. But if y'all saying the gameplay fire, I feel like people sleeping on that Invincible. That Invincible looking better than I feel like the original trailers said so. Nah, you said it looked bad because it was an alpha. Yeah, I said I don't like the fucking art style. I don't like the art style. But if the gameplay is good, I'll change my opinion. This is called being an adult. You're allowed to change your fucking opinion. The art looks better than the trailer in the trailer too. You think they did better on the art? Like they upped nuance is a thing? Right. I was just saying first impression. I was like, I'm still not seeing it. Avatar seems like one of those games I would like to watch at Evo event, but not play it because I'm bad at fighting games. Avatar might be one of those games where like you have to play it. From the eye test, it didn't really look good to me, but maybe it's good. You gotta try it though. We're gonna try to get a code then. Yeah, alpha's happening. Jay Wong is streaming it and a couple showings at Evo. Okay, I gotta watch the Max video to see what it's all about. It reminds me of the Teen Titans game. Same. It reminds me of the Teen Titans game, but they're charging for it, and I don't want to pay for Teen Titans Blitz. But yeah, it might be one of those games where it doesn't look good, but it feels good. We'll see. We'll see. Other Sony news. Sony's London canceled PS5 games seemingly revived as cast-outs. At least some of the work, ideas, and inspiration that went into the now canceled PS5 game from Shuttered PlayStation developer London Studio have found their way into cast-outs, a newly announced game from a team containing 8 former London Studio developers. Cast-outs is an online co-op game set in an urban fantasy inspired by London that's intertwined with fantastical wonder, delivering a sense of newness and nostalgia, discovery, and familiar favorites. It's a fantasy in a modern jacket. You use magic and spells to get around and defeat enemies, which is a similar concept to what London Studio was working on before it was closed down. Twisted Works, the developer making Cast-Outs, plans to put the game on PS5, Xbox Series, and PC with a view to releasing an early access beta in the first few months of 2027. A Switch 2 version is also coming. All right, we got a trailer. Let's check it out. The game seems to be fleshed out mechanically, not just a cash grab, flavor of the month fighter. Hey, listen, if I was wrong about Avatar, I have no problem admitting I was wrong. I got to get my hands on it and try it. We're going to see if we can try to get a code. One thing I will say, I don't want to see any game fail. I just be sharing my opinions, and like off that eye test, I was like, I don't really like the art style, and I still don't like the art style. But if the game is fun, I'll change my opinion. I am not that type of person. I have no problem admitting when I was wrong about something. I just wish people would remember when I do admit I'm wrong about something. Because what the internet does is they love to try to dangle shit over your fucking head. Like, bro, we're talking about video games. Shut the fuck up. I finally beat The Witcher 3. It took me 7 years. Okay, shout out to you. Shout out to you. All right, cast outs. You remember when you said in 2014, like, oh my God, bro. Like, I can't tell what kind of game this is. Remember, they'll never let Malcolm Little be Malcolm X type shit. Wait, what did it say? Magic Reborn. I don't know what I'm looking at. Is this like a beat 'em up game? What up, Art? True curl up, true power. Looks like a remastered 360 game. Chill, chill, chill. Oh, it's got roguelike elements. Do you like roguelikes, buddy? You like roguelikes? You know what that is? You're a border collie, you should know. Shout out to Eli with the sub. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not too interested. It's looking like a pass to me. It doesn't look yeah, I was talking to the dog. It doesn't look terrible, but I'm seeing like a lot of empty open spaces. I feel like this game would benefit from like tighter level design because the combat doesn't look all that interesting or deep. I feel like what would keep the combat refreshing is probably the rogue elements. So I feel like they should have focused more on that. But yeah, it looks kind of generic. It looks kind of from the eye test. I'm 3 hours into Assassin's Creed Shadows. It's not as bad as the internet made it out to be. It's because people didn't play the game. In my opinion, Assassin's Creed Shadows and Ghost of Yotei are on a similar level. I think Ghost of Yotei just has a better presentation, and I think Shadows has better stealth gameplay. But they're pretty similar in terms of quality. It's a lot of bloated shit all over the fucking map. The biggest problem with Assassin's Creed Shadows is just too much content, too much filler. Who made it in my Spotify Wrapped? Oh, I don't know. I canceled Spotify. I'm not logging back in. I uninstalled it off my computer and my phone. I'm not downloading the app again to check. I don't care. We on YouTube Music now, chat. And I'm not gonna lie, it's been a fun transition. I feel like the algorithm on YouTube Music is better. Yo, shout out to Catalog with the $5 super chat, catching the stream while at work. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. See, is there a YouTuber Wrapped or something similar? You have YouTube Wrapped now. If you go into your settings, it'll tell you what you watched. Mine was super accurate. Let's see. Other news, we got GTA news. Where all my ball and gun gamers at? We got GTA 6 candles before we got GTA 6. Yeah, there's a Discord Wrap too, so you can see how much time you spent with your Discord kitten. GTA 6 dev announces $60 candle that smells like Vice City. While the gaming world eagerly awaits the launch of GTA 6, Rockstar Games has announced a variety of new themed products for the holidays, including a $60 candle that smells like Vice City. This is likely a reference to Vice City, or Vice, that's likely a reference to Vice City, the setting of 2002's GTA Vice City and next year's GTA 6. Developed in collaboration with Joya Studios, the Vice candle comes in a frosted white glass with Rockstar's game logo and notes of a lemon, California, whatever, bruh. Let's see. Yep, so this is, I feel like this damn near confirms GTA might be $80 to $100 because the candle is $60, nigga. Also, why would I buy a candle that smell like Vice City? Why would I ever invite somebody over and say, wait, baby, let me light my candle that smells like fucking BBLs, malt liquor, drive-bys, and Coke? I'm good off that, bro. I don't want my house smelling like a fucking BBL, post-BBL surgery sitting on Spirit Airlines. Like, I'm good off that, man. I just want that. That's what I said. Yeah, Cuban sandwiches and shit. Botox, yeah. Smell like the fucking devil, because that's what's in Miami City, the devil. That's the most devilish city on in the United States. Hookah smoke. I'm good off that, man. Strip club candles. But the fact this shit is $60. So I mean, if you into this, you know, they coming out with something. But I'm good off that, man. I'm good off that. GTA news for y'all. We got an update on computer news. You know, RAM prices are through the roof because AI data centers are buying up all the RAM. Then Crucial, one of the biggest manufacturers of RAM, announced 2 days ago that they will no longer be selling their RAM to retail, aka you and me, the everyday consumer. They will only be selling to data centers, and they specifically said it's because that's what's going to make them the most money, which is also going to drive up the price of RAM and other PC parts. We now have some more PC news. You remember when your president said when he becomes president, within the first few months, the price of everything's going down? Well, he introduced the tariffs. The prices are going up. He's allowing these AI companies to do whatever they want. And that's driving up the price of everything while also destroying our water supply. And now also, PCs as a whole are going up. According to a report from TrendForce, Dell has issued a notice regarding price increases to its customers. Industry sources anticipate that Dell will implement a price hike at least 15 to 20%, which could take effect as early as mid-December, meaning in a week or two. Additionally, Lenovo has also begun informing its customers of its price increase plans, with price adjustments scheduled to apply starting in early 2026 as the market pressure mounts. Translation: between the tariffs and the price of RAM going up, we are not going to take a risk. You niggas are going to have to pay more. We're not even gonna eat it. They're letting you know we're not eating this L. You are. Thank your president for this shit. Thank your fucking president. Stop talking about this shit. And guess what? It's gonna drive up the price probably of the Steam machine, the PS6, the next Xbox, cars, phones, anything, monitors, anything technology related. I still can't believe Costco is suing the Trump administration. Good. They should be. Because for those unaware, I don't know if you know, the president of the United States, it's illegal to issue out blanket tariffs. That's what he's been doing. He's just bypassing the power of Congress and just be like, tariff everything. That's illegal. I don't know if you guys know that. So that's why Costco is suing them, because they're saying the president does not have the power to be like, tariff every fucking thing, because I woke up at 3 a.m. and felt like putting out 150 tweets on Truth Social because I'm mad at this country or whatever, bruh. You're affecting businesses, bruh, because you're destroying the rule set, and also the rule set is changing every goddamn, bruh. You smell like Liberty City. Hell no. Did you hear about what he did about the MLK Day and Juneteenth? Were they trying to get rid of it? Probably. And the crooked Supreme Court. The Supreme Court might not even, they don't even exist anymore, bruh. They're just a mouthpiece for fucking Trump, as well as, I was thinking about this the other day, man. Imagine, for those who do follow politics, you know, Grindr, MAGA Mike Johnson, the Speaker of the House. Imagine if you were as bad at your job as is Mike Johnson. We would have all got fired, because I've never heard this nigga say anything come out his mouth. Nothing has ever came out of his mouth that said, I know what's going on. They'll ask him a question. He said, I don't know what's going on. We know he's lying. What about the Epstein files? I don't know what's going on. Every time I see that man on TV, I don't know what's going on, man. If I said that in my job, back when I was a teacher, when I was working at the gym, they would have fired me. I don't know how to do that. I don't know what's going on. But apparently the Speaker of the House, which for those who don't follow politics, the Speaker of the House is the third most powerful person in the administration. I feel like a lot of y'all don't know this. That is a very important position. You have the president, the vice president. Do you know who's third in charge? The vice president? It's the Speaker of the House. If something ever happened to the president or the vice president, it goes to the Speaker of the House. They're next in line. This nigga gets on TV every day. I don't know what's going on. I don't know. They got a high profile job and he's a one. I don't fucking know, bro. Man, I wish they would expose his Grindr account, bro. But anyways, I looked it up and he just got rid of free entrances to national parks on MLK and Juneteenth. He's not getting rid of the actual holidays. That's still stupid, bro. We pay for those with our tax dollars, and now they're trying to get rid of free entrances. It's stupid. But anyways, that's my tangent for the day. That's my tangent. I actually appreciate when you speak about topics like these, even though people in the chat don't, because when we remain silent, we lose. I will say, to be fair, I feel like when I first started ranting about this stuff, I don't know if it's because I'm getting older, but it's like stuff that just be on my mind that be fucking annoying me. Because like I just miss the days of like old school corruption. You can't stop corruption completely, but I miss the days when niggas was getting their dick sucked in the White House, you know, a little insider trading, you know, that's bad, but you know, I could deal with that. But like like this new shit that's going on, man, niggas got crypto schemes and shit. Motherfuckers lying about fucking pedophilia, protecting pedophile. Like, this is some different shit, bruh. I miss the old school corruption, bruh. This some different shit, bruh. But I will say, when I first started ranting about the shit, because like it'd be on my mind, like people was bitching. I don't feel like people bitch as much anymore. I think it's starting to connect to people. Like it's to the point where like it's in your face. You can't ignore it now. You can't ignore it. They got, Criminal Pete. Yeah, Pete Hegseth killing people, committing war crimes and shit. They said there's reports saying he was drunk, saying kill them all. His ass might get impeached. Shit's crazy, man. Shit is fucking crazy. You said Grindr? Yeah, there's reports that MAGA Mike got a Grindr account. Apparently he's DL. which would counter, which me personally, I don't care, but I hope it comes out to be true because it would be fucking funny. Because the party that talks about family values and being a Christian, the head of the party, one of the heads of the party is on Grindr. Yo, shout out to Obama with the sub, appreciate it. But anyways, what else I got for you? Most of the GOP is on DL. I believe it. Yeah, we missing that ethical corruption. Like, you know, just I miss those days, man. Come here, baby. The president needs his dick sucked. An Elder Scrolls TV series can't be ruled out, Todd Howard teases, but remains tight-lipped on the status. 1 second. Tight-lipped on the status of the Wolfenstein adaptation. Bethesda's Todd Howard may be growing up for the Fallout Season 2 debut on Amazon Prime, but don't think we're going to miss a chance to ask him about Wolfenstein's TV series and a potential Elden Screen adaptation. I think a Wolfenstein TV show would really work well, especially this day and time, because Nazism is on the rise. A TV show about punching Nazis in the fucking face would be great. Our social producer Matt Jones recently sat down with the studio head and asked him just how things are going with Wolfenstein's adaptation. However, while Howard clearly knows more than he is letting on right now, he has admitted he's not in a place to speak about it, preferring to save that honor for Machine Games. You think Bill Clinton used the same pickup line on Trump that he used on Monica? I don't know. I don't feel like, because Bill Clinton was super charming. I don't think Bill Clinton had the charm Trump to get some of that bubba. I think Trump just wanted to be down, so he probably just got on his knees because he's just somebody who wants to be in power. He's just somebody who wants to be on the scene, so he probably willingly. I feel like that's not discussed enough. Like damn, Bill Clinton was getting that bubble from Trump. I feel like we're not discussing the fact that we found out that Bill's a top and Trump's a bottom, bro. which makes it even fucking funnier because once again, I don't give a fuck if niggas is gay, but it is funny to me that the guy that's the head of the Republican Party that talks about being a manly man, not only are you gay, but you're a fucking bottom, dude. You're a power bottom. I'll tell you, there's humor in everything to me, dude. That shit is fucking funny to me, man. Like, thoughts on Bubba the horse? That would be fucking weird if it really is a horse. For the sake of the joke, I hope that Bubba shit is Bill Clinton, bro. That shit would be fucking funny, man. That projection is a bitch. That shit is a bitch, ain't it? Okay, fair enough. But what about the Elder Scrolls TV show or film? Surely that would be a no-brainer for Bethesda after the success of Fallout's own series and the unwavering devotion many gamers have for Skyrim. Well, the answer wasn't a no. I will say this. The Fallout journey was like a 10-year one. Howard replied when Matt asked for the developer's thoughts on Elder Scrolls adaptation in some description. He said after Fallout 3, people were asked to do a movie or a show for Fallout, and we really took our time. That said, Howard can't rule in or rule out an Elder Scrolls thing in the future. However, the Bethesda exec believes the Fallout franchise was more uniquely suited and had more to say in its genre at this time and moment. Calling head Bubba is pure comedy. Yeah, that's the new slang, bruh. I'll get some of that Bubba, bruh. Where the Bubba talk at, bruh? He's a submissive bottom. I thought you was this manly man alpha male, bruh. Wouldn't you be a top? Like... So basically, don't rule it out. There's potential for an Elder Scrolls TV show. Me personally, I'm not like a super Elder Scrolls fan. I don't really care. But Wolfenstein, I am curious to see how that turns out. That would be lit. That would be lit. And then last but not least, if you're fans of Dead Space, there's a rumor going around on the Gaming Leaks and Rumor Reddit. Actual employees, Mike Straw said Dead Space is internally on ice. Leadership at EA are hoping to sell the IP. He also states EA has zero plans to bring back Dead Space in the near future. Edit. It's actually employees wanting the IP to be sold, not EA. Oh well, I knew EA was incapable of doing just one thing right. So you remember that remake we had of Dead Space? It must have not sold that well because it seems like that franchise is up in the air. They already destroyed the studio that originally made it. And it looks like the remake, I know there was a sequel for Dead Space 2 remake on the table, but I guess the first one didn't sell that well. And now the game is just on ice, period. So if you were looking forward to another one, it might not happen. Best case scenario, it gets sold and then maybe it gets made by another studio. But that's all I got for you. I can hop into Subbox and see if there's anything else going on real quick. I doubt it because it's Friday. It's probably just shit from the PC gaming show yesterday. Dead Space could have been a really good franchise with some movies and everything. And you can't say it's because the horror genre is dead. Anytime a new not Dead Space, anytime a new fucking Resident Evil gets announced, the internet goes crazy. I don't know why Dead Space can't stick its landing. Like EA till the wheels fall off type shit. Fallout Season 2 official clip. Check it out. Of course, the neoconservative anti-woke crowd is going to call out a Wolfenstein adaptation. The damn irony. I'll never be able to wrap my brain around the concept that half of America, their pawpaw, stormed the beaches of Normandy fighting Nazis just for 2 generations later for you to grow up and be a fucking Nazi, bro. Like your grandpas are turning in their grave, bro. ExoShock Alpha official play. Ew, VR. Fuck no. Official console release. We saw that. Yeah, I don't think there's gonna be anything. Engine Fall. Official Apocalypse Bromance trailer. High on Life 2. We saw that. Pirates 101. Have you heard of a show called Smiling Friends? Nah, what's that? Katana? I'm not gonna lie, that's a pretty clever name, Katana. Off the strength. Oh, it's a VR game. Oh my. I was about to say, off the strength of the name, I was gonna watch it, but it's a fucking VR game. You had me in the first half. Yeah, these are all trailers from yesterday. I'm gonna just look at these real quick.
Hi. Excuse me. So sorry. I'm hoping you can settle an argument between myself and my traveling companion there.
Why did it default to 144p?
We are hunting down my father, who is not a good guy. And on this journey, we found ourselves in need of food and supplies. Plan A was to leave you alone and avoid this scenario altogether. But we tried that, and I just start starving to death. Plan B, his idea, by the way, was for me to turn him over to you so that you would open up your safe and give me the considerable bounty you put out on him.
Fucking shoot!
The idea was I would shoot him down, he'd take your weapon.
She's definitely become a demon since the beginning of the first season.
And use whatever violence necessary in order for us to escape. Which, in my experience thus far, it's a lot of violence. So, I'm really, really hoping you'll agree to Plan C.
What's Plan C?
Shout out to Papa J with the sub.
Chats just remind me how much Kitty.
And we keep the caps you gave me. Which, to be clear, we do need for our survival.
Saying what's up from South Korea.
And just to ask the question, would it help?
Yeah, she not green behind the ears anymore. She locked in, bruh. She locked in. I'm excited. I feel like the ending to the show was really fire. Dog meat. When does this come out again? Oh, December 17th. A couple weeks. I'm not gonna lie, I'll probably binge this. Does anybody know how many episodes season 2 will have? Season 2. How many episodes in season 2 Fallout?
Every time a sub returns, Sabretooth returns.
It'll have 8 episodes. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I'll probably binge watch this in a weekend. The weekend it comes out, I'll probably wake up early and watch the whole thing. Because I'm not gonna lie, that's how you know the show was good. For those who haven't watched season 1, watch it. It's the perfect time to watch it too. It's only 8 episodes and season 2 comes out in 2 weeks. This shit was good. I had no expectations for it. I was like, I'm gonna just watch 1 episode. The first episode, I was hooked. I ended up binge watching all 8 episodes in 2 days. So I was like, I'll probably just knock this out because it's only 8 episodes. Not gonna lie, I would like to play New Vegas on the PS5. Oh, here you go, New Vegas. It's a weekly release. Oh, they not putting it out all at once? You're right. I didn't even read that. Oh, never mind. When they released it last time, they released it all at once. Unless I watched it late. I don't remember. Engine Fall. Boo. It was a new show, that's why. Yeah, they probably want to milk it so they can get week-to-week conversation. What am I looking at? This is, we got Army of Two at home. It's funny because they're literally doing the Army 2 back to back.
Welcome to the conductor room. Please nominate a new conductor.
Yeah, we got off that. Katana. Be a ninja cat. Like, this doesn't look fun to me. I'm sorry. I don't want to put on a VR headset and run around in the air on the wall. This would probably make me puke. I'm old. I don't want to play any video game where I got to have a ginger ale on standby. What happens when the sun rises? Yeah, we get off this.